Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, joining us today. It's great to see a couple of hundred people on here watching and listening. I'm not sure how many of you have pitched before to our Current Affairs department, but I really hope that this is a start of a beautiful new relationship and we start hearing lots more pitches in the future. I thought I'd just start by explaining how our department works. I took over as Head of News and Current Affairs and Sport in April of this year. Siobhan Sinnerton in our team leads on investigations and foreign reporting. Adam Vandermark, who in normal times is based in our Leeds office, leads on our consumer journalism. And the three of us all work together on dispatches, singles, one-off, debates, etc. I also oversee Channel 4 News, and just so that you know, they also have a separate fund for independent filmmakers. So often pitches come my way. If I don't think they'll make a half hour, an hour, I send them directly to Channel 4 News. For those of you who saw their amazing report last night, about the Bristol statue, that had come from an independent filmmaker. You can contact them direct yourself as well. And I also oversee Channel 4 Sports, who do occasionally, when budgets allow, make one-offs and documentaries. And Pete Andrews is your man for any sport ideas. You can find all of our details on the producers page on the Channel 4 website. And as Danny said, we've also got a brief kind of summary of the kind of ideas we're looking for. But to go in more detail now, for Current Affairs, our priorities for 2020 and 2021 really are twofold. Firstly, investigations and significant revelation. And secondly, broad stories with mass appeal, but journalism at the very heart of them. So with investigations, it's an absolute must that our department routinely deliver big impact investigations, the kind of story that leads to change, that holds power to account, that are about big, important stories that our audience care about, and that really have the wow factor. We are going to be much more ruthless in the type of investigation we commission. If it doesn't have the potential to be a front page story or to make huge impact, we're probably not going to proceed. I'm going to play you now a couple of clips which are an example of the kind of programmes we've made in the last few months that we want to keep on making.
On April the 1st, deaths in Britain soared above 2,000. In South Korea, meanwhile, the death toll stood at 165. Mass testing and tracing had meant they'd never had to resort to the drastic lockdown measures now being adopted in Britain. So does South Korea hold clues for how we can escape lockdown?
So we know that we haven't got enough beds in the UK. When you compare ourselves to the rest of Europe,
tell us where we are.
We're very low down. We're about 4th or 5th from the bottom.
Of a list of how many?
About 30.
Wow.
These are your cleaning items, are they?
Yes, they are.
There's a nice variety there. Are they the right ones, Lisa?
So we've got loads and loads of products here. I have to say, this probably looks all quite expensive.
When it comes to inactivating the coronavirus, we really only need 2 products in our arsenal: a correctly diluted bleach solution or soap and water.
You know, the cheapest bleach you can get in the supermarket will work 100% effectively against the virus.
Okay. What is it about shopping online that you love? Do you ever visit the high street anymore?
It's definitely the price and the convenience. I don't visit the high street anymore. It's just a bit more expensive.
Okay. So how much are you spending a month?
A month, about £50.
I think it's a bit more than that.
I think it is a bit more than that, Abby. It's £100 on average a month you're spending.
Sounds about right to me.
Oh no.
Does that seem like a lot to you?
Yeah.
So I'm not here to stop you from shopping on Amazon. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm here to show you another side of Amazon. Things that might make you think twice about shopping with them.
That sounds scary.
Yeah.
Food banks, they're about giving food. We go there because Mum has hardly any money. Should I put the heating on?
You can't put the heating on.
Why?
Because I've got £2.95.
Her mum's mental health struggles have brought the family to the attention of social services.
That's why we need to come off social services.
We will.
I need to have a boyfriend.
Hold up. Why would you want me to have a boyfriend?
So we'd have a daddy.
Last year, we were tipped off by a charity insider that, unbeknown to the public, some celebrities are charging huge fees for their support. our fake charity contacted a celebrity booking agent who put forward, amongst others, Harry Redknapp.
Would you just try it with the cap as well? Yeah.
She said he would do a post on Instagram for £15,000. And 1 week later, on Harry Redknapp's Instagram,
I'm proud to support Cuppa, a great new charity that's clearing up plastic pollution in Africa. Follow them on Insta to show your support.
His followers shower him with praise. They have no idea that the post cost us £20,000.
So off the back of that clip, I think you saw our investigation, Celebrities for Sale. And I just wanted to highlight that as an example of how we want our investigations to be slightly more mischief-making. It's so rare that current affairs can make you laugh, and that investigation actually genuinely made me laugh. So we want to have more fun with our investigations and to still do serious subjects, but occasionally make those subjects slightly troublemaking. So of course, we're always interested in stories that no one else is covering. But in 2020 and 2021, our real priorities are going to be the fallout from coronavirus and helping people rebuild their lives, climate change, which would have been our biggest story of 2020 were it not for corona, the American elections, race, and British politics. Now, on coronavirus, we've made 16 or 17 done exceptionally well. And obviously, as audience interest begins to wane now, we'll be making far fewer films, but it will still dominate the news and current affairs agenda for months and years to come. So we want to still do big investigations like the recent Did the Government Get It Wrong? And there are obviously huge stories to tell over the coming months when it comes to the economy, unemployment, a potential second surge, as well as helping our audience rebuild their lives. On climate change, Danny's already mentioned that, we also want big, bold, ambitious ideas. We know it's such a difficult story to get right. We don't need to always scare people about the future. We can show how positive life can be if we get things right. How can we really capture the public imagination in the way that the BBC clearly did with plastics? We need to show solutions as well as scaring people about the future. Now, on American elections, we have a couple of projects already commissioned, but we're still looking for one big Trump story that genuinely tells us something new and revelatory. On race, we want investigations that examine structural racism both here and in the States. And I'm sure a lot of you will know, Dispatches has a long history of exposing racism, bigotry and intolerance. And clearly, this is an area we need to focus on as much as ever before. So if you have ideas that expose institutional racism, we want to hear about them. And tell us what big investigation you think we should be doing that really tackles structural racism in the UK. On British politics, we're clearly living in such an exciting time politically. Both coronavirus and Brexit will dominate politics for a while, but we're very much in the market for some strong investigations. And to stress, we will always want 2 or 3 absolute standout stories for next year. Don't forget, we are the department which commissioned Leaving Neverland and 4'S, 2 absolutely huge films. And we want to keep making those type of films every year. The type of film which gets talked about around the world, which gets nominated for Oscars, which affects the global conversation, and which really brings about meaningful change. And at Channel 4, we will always find ways of supporting you through that project to get the absolute best out of it. So, of course, while budgets are strained, we will ring-fence money for those absolute game-changer films. And we'll increasingly be looking for more co-production money, as Danny mentioned, where we can. And as always, we're fully committed to telling our audience about the world around us through big, important international films in the mould of Sri Lanka's Killing Fields, the countless Syrian films that our department's made, or the recent Hong Kong protest film. On our second category, that's broad stories of mass appeal, we're looking for really broad takes on subjects that we know the audience cares about. Journalistic examination of big brands, supermarkets, consumer issues, unique access docs with a really strong current affairs purpose. And I want to urge all of you to bring us big brand access films. We know it's what the audience want. We know they deliver a lot of bang for their bucks. And we're particularly keen on access to big brands as they're opening post-coronavirus. On consumer journalism, clearly the face of consumerism is going to change a lot as we emerge out of the coronavirus world. We all want to be at the front of the new face of consumerism, helping our audience rebuild their lives. So we're looking for consumer ideas on how to save money, how to turn around struggling businesses, how to live a healthier life, etc. The other thing I'd really like to plead with you is to think again about how we make our films. We often end up with a fairly formulaic, predictable way of making current affairs, and particularly Dispatches. And it's about time we shook it up a bit and made films that feel more modern, more digital friendly. So do please encourage your teams and PDs to think differently in how they film and shoot and put programs together. So in summary, first of all, I'm so sorry for falling out and leaving a big gap, but please do come to us with your best stories that can change the world, stories that can get a huge audience, stories that make a difference, and we will work with you to make them the best possible stories and to really make an impact. Thank you.